Welcome to Sounds of the Unknown. Tonight, we journey into one of the most chilling and perplexing paranormal legends in American history, the tale of the Mothman, a creature that has terrified an entire town, sparked government conspiracies, and remains a mystery to this day. But who or what is the Mothman? Is it a supernatural harbinger of doom, a misidentified bird, or something far more sinister? Stay with me as we unravel the mystery of the Mothman, its terrifying sightings, and the tragedy that followed. It was a quiet night on November 12th, 1966. A group of gravediggers in Clendenin, West Virginia, were preparing a burial site. As they worked under the dim light of the evening sky, a shadow moved overhead. At first, they thought it was a large bird, until they noticed the unmistakable shape of a humanoid figure with massive wings. The men stood frozen in fear as the creature glided above them without flapping its wings. It hovered, watched, and then vanished into the night. This was the first recorded sighting of what would soon be known as the Mothman. Just 3 days later, in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, two young couples, Roger and Linda Scarberry, and Steve and Mary Mallett, had an encounter that would change their lives forever. Driving along a deserted road near the abandoned TNT factory, a leftover facility from World War II, they saw something that defied explanation. A towering figure, at least 7 feet tall, with glowing red eyes and enormous wings, stood near the road. Its wings spread wide, and in a heartbeat, it took to the sky, chasing their speeding car. Terrified, they raced back to Point Pleasant, desperate to escape the nightmare. But the creature kept up, gliding effortlessly at speeds of over 100 miles per hour. Just as they reached the town's limits, the Mothman suddenly veered off into the darkness. Shaken and breathless, they reported their sighting to the local police. But they weren't the only ones who had seen it. Over the following weeks, more and more residents came forward, describing the same inhuman creature. Something was haunting Point Pleasant. As news spread, more eyewitness accounts flooded in. Farmers, police officers, even respected members of the community reported seeing the Mothman. Some described feeling an overwhelming sense of dread before their encounters. Others claimed to hear an eerie, high-pitched noise when the creature was near. And then, things got even stranger. Some people began experiencing disturbing nightmares. They saw visions of bridges collapsing, of people drowning, of something terrible on the horizon. Residents reported strange phone calls, untraceable numbers with no voices on the other end. Cars stalled for no reason when the Mothman was near. Pets went missing, and eerie red lights were spotted flickering near the TNT area. Was the Mothman merely an unknown animal, or was it something more? An omen, a warning. December 15th, 1967. The Silver Bridge, which connected Point Pleasant to Gallipolis, Ohio, was packed with holiday shoppers. The traffic was heavy, the air thick with the excitement of the Christmas season. Then, disaster struck. Without warning, the entire bridge collapsed into the freezing waters of the Ohio River. In a matter of seconds, 46 people lost their lives. Investigators later attributed the collapse to a structural failure, a tiny defect in a suspension chain. But to the people of Point Pleasant, the timing was too eerie to ignore. The Mothman sightings had peaked in the weeks leading up to the tragedy. And then, just as suddenly as they began, they stopped. Did the Mothman come to warn them? Or was it somehow linked to the disaster? Over the years, countless theories have emerged. Some believe the Mothman is a misidentified sandhill crane, a large bird with red markings around its eyes. Others claim it's a government experiment gone wrong, an undiscovered cryptid, or even an interdimensional being. Then there's the theory of the men in black. Several witnesses in Point Pleasant reported being visited by strange men in dark suits, warning them to stay quiet about what they had seen. Some described these figures as almost inhuman: pale skin, expressionless faces, and an eerie, robotic way of speaking. Were they sent to silence those who knew too much? Decades have passed, but the legend of the Mothman lives on. Every year, Point Pleasant hosts the Mothman Festival, drawing thousands of visitors eager to explore the mystery. There's even a Mothman museum filled with eyewitness testimonies, newspaper clippings, and eerie artifacts. And here's the most chilling part. Mothman sightings didn't stop with Point Pleasant. Over the years, reports have surfaced all around the world: Chicago, Russia, even Chernobyl before the nuclear disaster. Is the Mothman truly a warning, a harbinger of doom? Or is it still out there, watching? What do you believe? Was the Mothman simply an urban legend fueled by fear and tragedy? Or is there something more? Something lurking in the shadows, waiting for its next appearance? If you've ever had an unexplained sighting, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your stories. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the unknown, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more chilling stories from sounds of the unknown. Until next time, stay curious, stay vigilant, and remember, some legends never die.